Hello everyone, Sotius here, and with me today is SaintBalmung and Glenn from Glenn's World, and it is time for our weekly podcast today on a Saturday instead of a Friday. I told you guys it would either be a Friday or Saturday. Shit happens. How are you fine gentlemen doing today?
I'm doing good. I don't know what sleep is.
You don't know what sleep is?
No, I don't.
You got to that stage of your life already?
Yeah, at 15 I've hit rock bottom.
No. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Saint?
I'm doing alright, catching a bunch of Pokemons, kicking people out of my gyms, you know.
I've got my phone up here. I'm just waiting for Pokemon to show up, and if I suddenly go quiet, you know why. It's gonna be Pokemon. That's my priority lately.
Alright, you guys, I can't play Pokemon.
In fact,
because
what the hell just popped up? Is that a
That
Pidgey?
sucks to be you, Glenn.
Is that a Pidgey? I can't tell.
it's horrible.
You know what just happened?
What?
A Pidgey showed up, and
Shut up.
I can't. My app froze.
Oh no.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks so
Good.
much. Alright. So,
I deserve it.
shut up. What have you guys been playing this week? Obviously, Pokemon GO's only been out for a couple of days, so you have not been playing Pokemon GO all week. Even though I'm sure that's going to be Saint's new play all week game.
No, not really, just something to do when I'm out about passing the time.
That would be cool to live stream though.
You can't really live stream it.
No, not
I-
really. Not unless you.
I'm just saying, like, if you could, it would be, like, pretty cool.
I guess. I guess.
Like,
Um,
if
No,
they had,
it's
like,
not
some-
interesting. I don't think it would be interesting enough to live stream, actually. It's
Probably not.
like-
A lot of walking around. A lot of
Yeah,
sort of
what if
just.
you had, like, somebody that's like a bodybuilder, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, just, like, go around and play Pokemon Go? I think
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool to watch.
No. No. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that side, the Glenn's World awesome little title thing I did for him because Photoshop doesn't want to work today.
Oh,
So I made it
gotta
in
look at
Paint.
that.
Yeah, go have a look. It's awesome. You'll think it's a work of art. I should be paid for my art.
Well, you know I use Paint for my videos and all that, so good on you.
So anyway, Saint, you've been playing more Dead by Daylight this week then, I'm presuming,
Yep.
for the most part. Glenn, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a lot of what's it called, Overwatch, because
Oh,
my
really?
friend who I'm game
Fuck
sharing
Overwatch,
with,
sorry.
Overwatch is great.
it is good. No, but my friend who I was game sharing Rainbow Six Siege from decided to change his password and not tell me what it was, so I can no longer play it.
Oh, so you've been scrounging off somebody else's account.
Oh, totally.
Guess what I've been playing this week?
Not The Witcher
Gay
3,
Porn
which you should
Simulator
be.
2013.
I've been playing Technomancer this week, and also been playing a few other games. We actually got given a few games this week. There's been, I don't know off the top of my head, I think it's Boyd or Boyd, and that's actually got Twitch integrations, and that's something we might have to check out at some point during the week, say. And also another game, I don't know the name off the top of my head, it's something at the edge of the mountain, it's something like that. It's supposed to be a sort of horror psychological game, I'm not quite sure, but I haven't got into it just yet. I played some Ark today though, the dinosaur game. It was
I
awesome.
just saw the Paint thing.
You see it now? See
Yeah,
it?
it's good.
A work of art, my masterpiece.
It looks really good. I might have to use it.
It's my greatest accomplishment in life.
I
Yeah,
really
man.
might have to use it.
You set the bar really low there, buddy.
I did, I'm sure my ex-wife would kill
That's
me
what I go
for
for.
not saying
The
that
lowest
getting married
bar
was
of
an accomplishment.
entertainment.
Alright, so guys, guess what the first story this week is?
What? What is it?
Have any of you played Evolve?
No,
Nope.
that game's stupid.
No, not you. Well, god damn it. Anyway, Evolve, which was released a couple years ago now,
Year
has
ago.
gone. Is it just a year ago? It wasn't just a year ago, surely.
Yeah, it was. Came out in 2015.
No, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
Someone look it
did.
up.
It
I'm
did.
looking it up right now.
Jesus.
It did. Because I
Alright.
downloaded the
That's how
free-to-play
that's how
version.
irrelevant
said-
it is, Ben.
Shut up, Glenn. Anyway, that game is now free to play because its player base was shite because the game itself is pretty bad. Obviously, it got a shit ton of high praise from all games companies back when it was released, which I'm ashamed to admit I fell for it, and I bought the game myself back when it released. And I played maybe 3 matches of the game and gave up completely. I was not interested after that. It's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't think free-to-play is going to save the game. It's just going to be put on the backlog of terrible games. What do you guys think? Do you think this free-to-play is actually going to help it at all?
I mean, I'll play it if it's free.
I mean, alright, so being that I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, they're very similar games, right? You basically play the monster versus a team of people.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that Evolve does right, in my opinion, is I like that you have the class archetypes. Like, the characters are unique in that sense. Like, the trapper, is the guy you need to actually catch the monster. You have a healer and a support. People who are dedicated to supporting or healing their team. You have the assault guy who does the big damage. That part they did right as far as I'm concerned. Whereas, Dead by Daylight, anybody can be anything, which makes it kind of boring. Nothing feels unique or anything like that. So I would say Evolve that's the one thing I would say Evolve did right. But basically, from what I hear, one of the biggest shortcomings of the game were the fact that it was really hard to play any role that you wanted to play. Like, people would queue trying to play the monster, and they would never get monster. Like 10, 20 games in a row, they just wouldn't get monster. They get every other role, or somebody queues for assault, and they get everything but assault. People weren't able to play the roles they enjoyed a lot of the time. That's one of the biggest shortcomings I found. Heard of. Also, apparently, the game was impossible if all of the hunters were really good, or if the killer was really good. Like, there was no real balance struck there, from what I heard as well. So.
No, it was a very difficult game. On either side, you'd have matches where it's great, you'd have matches where it's fucking awful. I played the monster once, and I did not feel threatening to the hunters in the slightest. I just felt like this weak, useless thing, and it's just like, there's no point being
Did you go
a
around
monster.
eating things and making yourself
I
easier?
did, but it was so easy for them to find me when you go around eating things, because I'm not sure if it makes a sort of marker on the map, or something happens when you kill something and eat it that kind of gives them a hint of the direction you're in. So they've managed to find, if you're active in trying to evolve your monster, they find you very quickly.
You need to be sneaky, Ben.
Well, you're this great, fucking 30-foot monster. There's no way to be sneaky. That's absolutely crazy. It's just
Apparently they did it in the 1998
cannot
Godzilla.
be done. What's that?
They did it in the 1998 Godzilla. He just disappeared in the city.
Oh, really?
The 300-foot fucking monster.
True, he went underground, so
Wow.
you don't have an underground to disappear in Evolve.
Well, it's because, Godzilla's a sneaky fella. He
Saint, if I can't play Pokemon Go, you can't play Pokemon Go.
What? I'm participating. I'm not ignoring you guys.
Yeah, he's jealous.
Yeah, I'm very jealous because my thing stopped working.
Well, it sucks to be you guys.
Anything else you guys want to add for the Evolve Goes free to play? Any other interesting little
Don't
tidbits?
support it.
You don't support it?
I wouldn't say that now. That's
you say you don't
unfair.
support it, but you just said yourself if it's free, you're going to go play it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm a
that's-
hypocrite.
Yeah, you are.
I wouldn't say don't I wouldn't say don't support it, but if it's still as shit as it was, well, I mean, I don't know personally if it's shit, but if it's as shit as a lot of people were saying it was, then I wouldn't bother.
You know what? I will tell you next week when I play it.
Okay,
Well,
you do
will
that.
be-
I mean, I think me and Saint
I'll
were
be
going to go
playing
check
at
it
some
out.
point.
Yeah, me and Saint are going to check it out sometime, so feel free to join us. Any of you know about the Microsoft issue right now? People are angry at Microsoft because they went back on, well, they quote went back on their promise of once you buy a newly released Xbox One game, it's going to be sort of cross-platform between Xbox and PC, and it's the Microsoft Play Anywhere?
Yep.
Is that what they
Yeah.
called it?
But
think so.
now they're being dickheads.
Well, it's not
and-
it's necessarily. They didn't exactly promise that for every title, though.
But they did.
But they didn't.
No, they did. They really going forward. They were making games for their games available on the Xbox and the PC.
I thought they only said that for the games they previewed at E3.
They didn't say that at all. I didn't hear them once say it was when I was watching that the press conference. I did not see them specifically state that it was just for the games at E3.
All right. Well, it's not. We haven't had, definitive evidence that they're going back on their promise. But there was a little bit of writing somewhere. I think it was on some video or something that said it changed from the titles are going to be, a part of Microsoft Play Anywhere, whatever, and then it changed to only the games previewed at E3 are going to be the Play Anywhere. So people obviously take that as, well, you lied to us because you said everything, when this little statement is saying that it's only going to be those games and not everything going on is going to be that. So I don't know if they've actually released a statement confirming or denying straight out. But
Either way, I would say the problem is Microsoft didn't make it clear either way.
no,
And
they
they
didn't.
really should have clarified that up front, because people have a right to be upset, in my opinion. They really do, because Microsoft didn't make it. They made it sound very much like. Now I'm not saying 100%, but they did make it sound like going forward, because you even thought this too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Everyone
still-
thought this. Everyone thought, oh, awesome. All Microsoft games now are going to be cross-platform. They've made an
I mean,
excellent
Microsoft
decision.
did this to themselves. Microsoft does this kind of stuff often, though. They
You know
really
who
do.
doesn't do this stuff? PlayStation.
Actually, Sony's fucked some shit up too, but I mean, I do like
Yeah.
Sony better for sure, but they fucked some shit up too.
Yeah,
Letting the PlayStation, like letting their security's that bad that they allowed their network to be taken down for that long.
So
That was
Oh yeah, the
that-
network went down for a really long time.
Hashtag
Yep.
Blizzard Squad. No, but here's the reason why it was down for so long, because they were upgrading the servers. Xbox just
Don't you
the
mean they're
servers back
upgrading
on.
the servers because they're having issues?
Yeah, no. Basically, Xbox solved the issue and put the servers back on. PlayStation solved the issue and fixed their servers and boosted them up to where if something happens next time, something like of the equivalent will not affect it. Something worse will have to happen.
I don't
That's
know
why
about
they
that.
Look it up, boy.
No, I'm not gonna look it up. You look it up.
I don't have time to look it up.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. So, I have to do something real fast. Michael, do you want to start talking about Pokémon GO?
sure.
Alright, go ahead. Enlighten
Alright.
us on your recent endeavors across the city.
All right, so
I'll be
I'm
one
not-
second.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not the Pokemon game everybody was expecting at all. It's
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's an alright way to pass the time, but overall, it's just not Pokemon. I mean, you go around, you chuck a Pokeball at a Pokemon, you are probably gonna catch said Pokemon most of the time.
There's no
Battling, yes, there is gym battles.
Like, not whenever you like. It's not like the battling in Pokemon the game.
but there's
like,
still
shit.
battling. There's still battling in the game though, but it's not what you would. It's not your typical Pokemon battle. But I will say the battling that is there can only be done at gyms. Gyms are like it's lame. You just tap the screen really fast until the other Pokemon dies. That's it. I mean, that's your battle system. I mean, I'm having fun with it. It's not bad. You get these like Pokestops you can go to. They're like landmarks in your city or your town. You can go to and get like extra Pokeballs and potions and shit like that. You can also use lures at the Pokestops to attract wild Pokemon to that specific location. They cost money. There are microtransactions in the game. These items can be found at Pokestops at random, though, so you don't have to buy them. But if you want them, I mean, you're probably gonna end up having to buy them. Like most times, like I found like 2 N cents in one lure my entire time doing this, and I've been playing it like for a while.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's an alright way to pass the time, but it's not Pokemon at all. It's just a reskinned version of this the company I think it's Niantic's previous game Ingress. It's just Ingress with a Pokemon skin on it. That's all it is.
Well, I'm hoping that they are listening to what the consumers are saying, and they're going to update the game to make it what we want it to be. Which Pokemon is very good at doing that.
It's unlikely because the reason you won't see the battle system or like catching Pokemon or anything like that, similar to the way it is in the main games, is because that would take away from the main games. People would have no reason to buy them if they could just do it for free on mobile. They wouldn't want to buy them at that point anymore when they can just play it for free on their phone.
True.
That's why you
I can
won't see you won't
I can already play
see
it
good
free on my
battle
phone.
system.
I am back, gentlemen.
I mean that's besides the point. You're not doing it in a legal manner either. So
Care to catch me up on what you just talked about?
Pokemon
that's why
Go.
you should have been here. I'm not repeating myself. I just basically explained the game. That's all.
Since I'm not a dick like him, basically he was like saying it's not the game that we want it to be, and I said I'm hoping that the Pokemon Company will update it to the game that we want it to be, and he said that's not possible.
It's not likely because if they, like I said, if they make it anything like the other, the main series, people won't buy that series anymore. They would just like kill you know, whatever they were doing on the 3DS and all that. They would lose all that money. It would be, I mean, although I want it to happen, it would be a very big mistake on their part if they did that.
It was actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it how it would affect their sales on 3DS, because I've already seen stories of people saying I'm not going to bother with their new games. Now I've got this. There's not really much point.
Well,
But
here's the
still,
thing,
there's a
though.
lot more to those games.
Instead, what they could have done is a lot of people want a Pokemon MMO, right? They could have just basically made this a real life Pokemon MMO, like using a very similar system to what it has now, but charge for it. Not monthly or anything. A one time upfront charge, keep the
Like a
microtransactions.
like a
Keep the mic.
$5 game.
It would be more. Bro, come on. $5 is really for a open world Pokemon, like actual Pokemon game? No. You'd be wanting to charge near like the price of the actual 3DS games at that rate.
I
But
would never spend more than $10 on a mobile game.
then I don't understand. I don't understand why you. I mean, so you're telling me if it were the same as a main series Pokemon game, but in an open world, right?
Fuck,
You would
that
rather spend the
it's
money on the 3DS one than spend the same amount of money to get an open world Pokemon game that's going to be constantly updated.
yeah, true. Hold on.
But anyway, like that's what they should have done. Like, because people have wanted a Pokemon MMO for quite some time.
Oh yeah,
And
that would have been amazing.
they could literally do it exactly how it is now. Exactly how it is now. Just charge for it, and they could have made that game. Now, granted, they might not make that money off of the 3DS ones, but at the same time, I would still buy the 3DS ones because of the story and the world itself. Because even though I'm playing in the real world, the Kanto and all that still would appeal to me, and I would still
Yeah,
play them.
if you're a
It's
big
not
Pokemon fan, sure.
it's not like I play Pokemon games indefinitely. I usually play them till I beat the Elite Four, and then I'm done. With this
Sorry.
though, the idea of being able to go out into the world to battle other people, in real life, to be social with it, you know, and also being able to carry a phone around, you do it on my phone instead of off, fucking giant 3DS. You know what I mean? Would be nice. You know what I mean? It would always be with me at that point because my phone goes with me everywhere.
Right.
My 3DS, however, just sits there.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Collects dust most of the time because I don't play it that often.
So, what do you think? Have you talked about the battle system and how it's vastly different to the regular
The
Pokemon series?
battle system is fucking garbage. Let's be
I
honest.
haven't seen it personally
It's
yet, but so
fucking
what
garbage.
happens? So you see the enemy's Pokemon.
Yep.
And
Which
then,
is not controlled by them. It's AI.
okay. And then what do? You tap on it or you
You
tap
tap the
yours?
screen until it dies. That's all you do. You just tap the screen until it dies.
Does it affect? Does it matter like, if you tap faster or?
I mean, if you tap faster, you're gonna kill it faster.
Okay.
But beyond that, no, not really.
But is it doing a back and forth? Like, is it attacking you, then you
Yeah,
attack it?
no, it's real time.
Hmm.
So basically, if you're just mash the button really quick or mash on
So
that
the fact
Pokemon.
if you're going to mash faster, then you're going to win regardless. I'm
Well, I
assuming
mean,
this AI has a sort of it's going to do a
well,
hit every so many
the AI can
seconds
also
or.
use the special attacks that the Pokemon has as well,
Okay.
which
Fair
hit
enough.
really hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really disappointed they didn't keep it with as the original
Well,
battle
I
system. But
I
again, that would affect the
understand
other
why they
games, I
can't.
presume.
Yeah, I understand why they can't, but at the same time, like I said, it would have been wiser for them to invest in making an actual Pokemon game and just charging for it rather than making it free to play. I think free to play is what fucked it all up. If they would have charged
But
for it, I would have no problem paying for it. I really wouldn't.
Do you think it's going to be a fad?
It's not going to last that long, I don't think.
Really?
Like, I don't think it'll. I mean, it's. Well, I don't know. I can't say it for sure, for 100% sure, but I mean, you'll still have people playing it, but I don't think it's gonna boom as big as it like stay as popular as it is right now. It's. I don't even think it's gonna stay near as popular as it is right now. But it's Pokemon, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon has kind of lasted the ages, so to speak. I reckon the hardcore Pokemon fans will keep this going for a while, and there are a lot of hardcore Pokemon fans. So I can see it lasting for a considerable amount of time. I do think they'll need to add some sort of update sooner or later to maybe put it more in line with the games.
Well, also apparently this is just the beta version of the game.
Oh,
oh
really?
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, which is
Oh.
stupid. Like, don't like. I get that you need to test it and shit, but like, you're doing the same thing AAA game companies doing. You're giving the public an unfinished product, and then you wonder why, because there's some backlash. There definitely is some backlash to this game, uh, and you wonder why people have negative things to say. It's like, well, maybe if you didn't put a half-ass product out on the market, you wouldn't get that. Like trainer battles aren't in. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. I'm hoping to hell that's supposed to be a thing. Trading of any type is not in. That I believe is confirmed to be in the game at some point. Um, like just simple features that are missing that should have really been in here, like now, not later. Also, you don't have any attachment to your Pokemon in this game. Like
No, not at all.
the idea,
Yeah.
the way you level up your Pokemon in this game is basically you grind the same Pokemon over and over and over again, get these candies, and you use these candies to level up and evolve your Pokemon. Like, say I want to get a Pidgey, I want to evolve my Pidgey, right? I need to farm Pidgeys to get the Pidgey candies in order to evolve him or to make his combat points go up, which is how they determine the Pokemon strength. Uh, you know, like
It's a lot
that.
different because obviously in the original games you
Yeah,
have to train the one Pokemon up by fighting with him time and time again, and you build an attachment to that Pokemon.
yeah, and
Whereas
that's
in
the
this,
thing.
you're just throwing away Pidgeys left, right, and centre because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I just need the candy to upgrade this
Yep.
one other Pidgey.
And it sucks because that was one of my biggest things about that's the one big that's the battle system is huge, right? But it's not as big as that attachment to your Pokemon, and I feel no attachment to any of these guys, like none at all. Like they're just, you know, I don't care if they get beat up or anything like that. Where I'd be sad if my dudes got beat up in the other game, like or if I lost, an important battle. But in this, I know I can just go grind it out, or and I don't know. I don't feel like my Pokemon grow at all because your level, your character's level. Oh, your character levels up in this game. Your trainer actually levels up. Your Pokemon doesn't. That's fucking stupid. But the strength of the Pokemon you find is determined by your player character's level. So, like, the higher level you are, the more chances
Oh,
you have to
really?
find
Oh,
higher
okay.
combat point Pokemon.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just random, completely random.
I mean, you could still find shit ones at a high level, but you can also find, like, really good ones, too.
Although we are missing one important fact because you're saying that you're going to grind this out. Pokemon Go, at least for the US, is doing something that Michelle Obama has been trying to do for the past 8 years, and that is to get kids active and people active. They have done that in less than a week. It's the fact of playing Pokemon in real life that is bringing people towards this. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is going to be, and even if it is a fad, it's a good fad. People are losing
Oh,
weight.
I'm
People
not,
are getting better. Yeah,
but that's not what we're. I'm not. To me, like, I granted that is a good thing, but that's to me personally. I look at video games, or when I talk about them, I talk about their mechanics and how they work. That is what I care about. I
yeah.
don't, I mean, it's not bad that it's making social stuff. That is a really good thing. I mean, when I was at work, I was using lures there, and I had 50 Pokemon, people playing Pokemon Go come up, and we were talking and all that. It's cool that that social aspect is there, but that doesn't change the fact that the game itself isn't what anybody was expecting. It's actually far below what people expected. It looks nothing like what they showed in the trailers. That's for damn sure,
Oh yeah,
or any of the mechanics that they had showed off. It looks nothing like that game. So,
yeah.
That is true, but being in beta, do you think they're going to add any more features?
oh, they're
I mean,
adding more
usually,
features.
well, what? Has there been any confirmation of what they're going to add
Well,
next?
I already mentioned trading is going to be a thing.
Okay, well, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'd like to also. I'm hoping they add battles, like trainer battles, like where you can battle your friends and stuff. Because yeah, that's the most important aspect of Pokemon to me. Other than leveling and investing in my own Pokemon, though,
I was
but
just thinking,
combating other people.
I was
It's
just
the
thinking
whole
it would be
point.
cool to sort of be able to see other people on the, when you're looking at the map, it's sort of be able to, cool to see other people. And I thought, immediate issue
Yeah.
with that is you can see people in their own homes. That's not good. But what if you could
Ooh.
sort of go about the world and then say, I want to put like say a copy of my avatar down here, and then whenever somebody approaches the avatar, it's like trainer battle.
Nah,
Yeah.
you could just do it with public meetups, so you can do that. I mean, if with the amount of
Or
Pokestops and people playing this game, I'm telling you, man. Like I said, I had 50 people come to my job because of
That's
it.
awesome,
You
but
know,
I don't. I honestly, you said like there will be people in my area doing that, but I honestly don't feel like there will be, because obviously Pokemon Go is not officially released in the UK
yeah.
yet.
Well, I'm when it is, and also, I mean, I rarely ever saw ran into a lot of people ever talking about Pokemon and stuff like that in my city, and all of a sudden there's 50 people.
True, that is a
So
lot of people
you
for
can't
one.
you don't understand how I don't think you actually understand how much people actually like this though. Like I said, there is some backlash towards it and stuff, but overall it's been received very well.
it's
You know.
it's a brilliant idea. It's great, but it's just the gameplay is okay. But hopefully it'll get better.
I
Yeah,
was
that's the
just looking
thing.
at the apps to see if it's available in the UK yet, which it's not. But it's
No,
interesting to
because
see that people have made apps for
Oh yeah.
having IRC chats and such.
well, the reason that we don't have it worldwide release yet is because of all the server issues they're having. They're trying to iron
Hmm.
that out before they do worldwide release. I was reading about that the other day.
hmm It's
But what
very
I was
big.
getting at was, it's cool to see people making social features themselves, like
Oh
having
yeah,
having this other app, this Pokemon Go app, so you can actually chat to other people around the world and be like, oh, okay,
No,
well,
I
there's
I
like a
mean,
remember.
gym here, gym there, whatever. There's
chat. See, that's another thing. Like friends lists and stuff like that. That's something that should really already be in here. Because out of
Yeah.
those people that I met when I was there, I would have liked to have kept in contact with them. Now, I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I could have asked them for their phone numbers, but that's a little more awkward. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a little more awkward. It's like, if I just keep in contact with them, through Pokemon, that's fine. Because that's what what we have in common.
But what I was about to say whenever you're talking about people like seeing each other and like them possibly being able to be seen in houses. Um, what if like they add in the future where you can connect your Twitter or Facebook or whatever you want that's social media wise, and your friends list who play Pokemon Go on those, they can like see where you are instead of that, like being open to
I
everybody
mean,
in the public.
it's still. I don't think that's a good. I think that's still not a great
It just
idea.
sort of seems like an overly complicated workaround to the core premise of what we're trying to get across here.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I mean, who knows what they're going to do in the future? I mean, I hope they do continue improving it and adding all these new things, but
Yeah.
it would still be cool to be able to see other people on the map. You know, as there's a Pokemon trainer off in that direction somewhere.
Or well, at least maybe not everywhere. Maybe at least see the people that are in and around in Pokestops.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, that would be enough. That
Because
would be sufficient, I think.
they are literally supposed to be meetup points. So if I look
Yeah.
at my phone and I can see the Pokemon stop down the street from my phone, and I can say, oh, there's 5 people there right now. You know, I'm gonna go and we'll probably have one of those, what you call it, the things to
The
boost the
lures.
Pokestops.
Lures.
Yeah, and just go and hang out with these people who clearly share the same interest.
Exactly.
That way, I'm not giving away my location of my house, because right now I'm, just sat here on Pokemon Go and you can see me on the map. But yeah, that makes perfect sense because they're supposed to be meetup points.
Yep.
That would actually work really well. I hope they incorporate something like that because that would be really nice. Even if they were to, and this is going to be a bit complicated or difficult for them, but even if they were to sort of incorporate a form of NPC trainers on the map, like if you could see and say, oh, there's a trainer, a couple of streets across, and then go over there, and then when it sort of sees that your GPS location is sort of in line with this trainer or even near him, you can tap him and initiate a Pokemon battle. They really do need to add some better form of Pokemon battle because what they have right now is not good, and
It's garbage.
it's
It really is.
destroying decades of what Pokemon battles have been.
Yeah.
It's going completely out of what
Like
the
I said,
games
though-
were at its core fundamental mechanics.
Like I said, though, there's nothing you can do there because if they make it anything like the actual series,
It's going to affect the other stuff.
it's just gonna ruin that. It'll cannibalize itself. Like Pokemon Go would cannibalize the actual Pokemon series, like the canon Pokemon series. It would just eat it alive.
Maybe it needs to at this point.
No,
There's
I
been a
don't-
shit
I
ton
don't
of
think so.
Pokemon
There's
games. Maybe it
way-
needs to
so-
be this one great Pokemon game at this point.
There's way too much money to still be made off of Pokemon. Way too much money to still be made off of Pokemon.
True, there is. There is. That's for sure. I don't know. I'm glad that they're going to keep improving it. I'm not. Do you feel. Okay, so you've been playing it a lot over the past couple of days, whatever, how long ever
Yep.
you've had it. Do you feel like it's going to be something you're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks at least? Or do you think it's going to be something you just sort of die out
I'm gonna
on?
dabble. I'm gonna, I mean, why wouldn't I just play around with it? I mean, I'm out and about, almost every day because of work. So,
Mm.
I mean, if anything, I'll probably do it out of boredom because it's better than games like fucking Clash of Clans and shit like that.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Right. What about you, Glenn? Do you think it's going to be
Somebody
something?
took my gym.
I think if people around me start playing it more, then I would totally play it, or maybe just have like a friend over and we just go walking around.
hmm
But until then, no, not really, because I'm very socially awkward and I don't like situations
You don't
where I
have
have
to
to
talk
talk
to people. You don't
Yeah,
have
but
to at all.
yeah, true.
It's more of going out. I mean, even I struggle sometimes just being out in public. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
You have those days where it's just not an easy thing to do. Generally, I'm okay around people, but there has been times where I've gone into town and it is the absolute hell for me. It's the last place I want to be on the earth.
One thing I can say that I don't like about the system is it picks really awkward locations to put gyms. Like almost all the gyms
Yeah.
in my area are churches, and I don't have a problem with church or anything like that, but you know what I mean. You see a guy that looks like me, a hippie dude covered in tattoos,
Going
and
out
shit
to a
with
church.
a giant skull on his shirt, sitting outside of a church, dealing with a gym. because it's there, and people are like, people were looking at me funny for it, and I'm like you couldn't like, I don't know, I would prefer if the gyms were more like public, like
Coffee shops.
more, yeah,
Something
coffee
people
shops.
actually go to, something that's not
Okay,
awkward
so-
to walk
Yeah.
into and sit down for a time
So I-
while you battle it out. Because, like you said, standing outside a church
Yeah,
is
and I'm not a
not
big religious
ideal.
person though, so for me to go into a church, I don't have to go inside, of course, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like say we're at a bar or a McDonald's or something like that. I could sit down and maybe have a bite to eat, or go to a coffee shop, sit down and have a cup of coffee, or if I'm at the bar, have a beer or two, while I'm sitting here playing Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like restaurants.
Are
And
all the
stuff,
gyms in
it
your
would make
area
more
churches?
sense.
Like, are they all churches literally, or
Yes,
just?
all the 3 that are closest to me are all churches.
I'm wondering if it is church for the
actually,
most part, churches or big buildings.
This is that's not true because the nearest gym to me is the entrance to my neighborhood. I swear to God.
Well, I
Really?
mean, still though, I'm like, if I walk through my city, right? If I walk downtown, like almost every one of the gyms is a church, and like almost all the Pokestops are churches as well. If it's not a gym, the Pokestop is a church. Like it's just awkward. Like why are those like that? I don't know. Churches aren't landmarks to me. Like that's what you're supposed to be using the GPS
My
system.
neighborhood
Also-
entrance is not a
Landmark.
landmark.
Well, also, like you said, not being a religious person, even having to stand out in front of a church, and then obviously you've got people going by who know you, and it's like, oh,
you know,
you went to church.
Well,
What?
it's not even that. It's just awkward for me because like I don't want to have like you being near those places. People might talk to me about it and stuff like that. It's like, I'm not into it, and they don't get that's not enough for most people. When you tell them that, they don't just bugger off. You have to be like forcefully, I don't want to hear what you're telling me right now, and it forces me into that situation.
Yeah, it's sort of an uncomfortable encounter, so to speak.
That's why you
I
should.
mean, like, I'm not saying all religious people are like that, but
Well, no, I'm not. it's
extremely
just-
religious people
I
can be
happen-
very
every
pushy.
time.
Yeah.
I happen to run into those people 90% of the time. I'm just unlucky as fuck. Like seriously, I am.
And I live in Texas, which is basically the Bible Belt. And yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you so much, way too much.
Like I don't have a problem. They can have their beliefs. I can have my beliefs. Whatever, it's fine. Just don't. I just don't like when people try to push it on me. And I don't know. A lot of the time, I just don't like the way I'm looked at by religious people. But anyway, this is getting off topic. It's still
Yeah.
the Pokestop or the gym should be in like very public places. Like I said, like you're a McDonald's, a Starbucks, a restaurant in general, like bar, restaurant, even a fucking grocery store. You know what I mean? Shit like that makes sense.
Just shopping, getting some bread, milk, creamer. Then you're just, casually
Oh,
fighting.
look, there's
a
an
Pokemon.
Eevee in the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Some dude's behind you's like, dude, let me get to the milk. No, there's an Eevee.
Yeah, I can't move from this spot. Don't want to lose it. No, I totally agree with you. It should be more coffee shops than, other landmark buildings that aren't exactly a 100% public place. It's not somewhere people go all the time. Not like a coffee shop. You have people coming and going all
Basically,
day.
a place that's not always welcoming. I really hate to put it that way, but that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Any other opinions about the game, guys?
No, that's pretty much it.
I really enjoy it. I mean, I was very hesitant about it when I first got it, and then I played it last night. Besides, server issues, I've been really enjoying it. And
I think I will go out and try it again tonight.
Well, don't go out.
will give
I
it a
mean, if
try.
you're that worried, like you were talking about it earlier, if you're that worried about
Yeah.
running into awkward situations, go out during the daytime.
I do, but
yeah,
well, I live in Texas, and Texas is close to the equator, and it's very hot.
Wear cool clothing and bring a lot of water. It's hot here too, buddy.
yeah. No, it's great. I don't personally feel like it's going to convince me to go out more. Like the whole premise of the game is to be out exploring. Whatever. I think if I happen to be going somewhere, for work and such, then I'll probably play it on my way. But other than that, I'm not going to purposely go to the beach just to catch water Pokemon. I'm not going to purposely travel. Their whole premise is travel the world to find all the Pokemon. Say, I'm not going to travel the world to find all the Pokemon.
No, you don't have to go to the beach to find a water type. You can just go near a body of water.
Yeah, which pretty much for me is for the most part the beach. That's closest. Beach is close.
You don't have a lake near you? Or
we
a
do.
River?
Yeah.
Okay, then the closest body of water is not.
Most
a
of
beach.
them are privatized though, so you can't actually go on the land. But
You
know
don't
what I
have to
mean?
go
It's just
on
kind
them.
of
Close.
still. What I'm getting at here is I'm not going to travel the world to catch all the Pokemon. I'm going to do whatever's convenient for me. If I'm out and about, for sure, and I see something great, capture it, whatever. I'm not going to, travel the country even just to catch all this
You don't
stuff.
have to travel all around the world to find all the Pokemon.
I know that.
Well, that's what you're making it sound like.
I know, but that's the whole premise of the thing, is they're trying to get people to travel the world.
Not
I know you don't
necessarily
have
the
to,
world,
because it's
maybe
fucking
be social
randomized.
in their areas. I think is
Yeah.
more the case.
Well, it's nice to know that it's working. It's nice to know that you didn't, like you said, you had 50 people come in last night.
Exactly.
That was
was
and
awesome.
I was really surprised when you said that. I was like, oh, wow, really? People are actually, gathering in big groups like that in, your city of all places? That wasn't expected. So, yeah. Awesome. Anything else you guys would like to add before we start to wrap up?
It needs work. That's I mean,
It does
the
need
battle
work.
system, some way to feel more attachment to the Pokemon you have.
Mm-hmm.
Trading and battling for sure need to be in the game. Breeding would be
They do.
cool, but it's optional.
I don't... Do you think they would add that? I mean,
That's
obviously
what I
you've got
said.
the eggs
it would
already,
be cool, but
but...
it's optional. I don't think it would be added, but it would be cool if they did put it in.
True.
Yeah,
Anything you'd like to add, Glenn?
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
Just get a Ditto and have it fuck everything, and you
Yeah.
have
Next they'll be adding, next they'll be adding Pokemon daycares at actual nurseries or something.
Oh my god.
And there'll be all these
There's
news
actually
stories
nursery
about
being-
creepy dudes hanging outside nurseries.
There's actually nursery being built by my house, so
Oh yeah.
good job.
Yeah, when we're done here, I gotta go take that gym back. You fucking
Yeah, I know you're itching to head
you
off to get your
mystic
gym
pricks.
back. I should drag this out just to torture you.
Oh, do it, yeah.
No, I'm not going to. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been a short one. We still hit 42 minutes. But we will be
Well,
back
Ben,
ne-
that's because you don't shut the fuck up.
Oh my god.
I need, like, some sort of graphic to put over your camera, like, dickhead.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention Ben likes Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Are you
Oh
fucking...
god.
Alright, guys, we're going to end it there. I do not like Call of Duty, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Roll the footage.
Have a good one,
of him
guys.
saying it was pretty good. Goodbye, guys.